A single buzzing fluorescent light flickers over a concrete chamber where the sounds of the forest have been silenced. Rust stains the walls. A man with gray hair and a lab coat sits at a metal desk. The legs of the desk are covered in a bioluminescent moss. His glasses are crooked and his beard is unkempt, his hands trembling as he flips through the pages of his notebook, furiously writing, erasing, rewriting. His voice quivers as he speaks, not to himself, but to something unseen. Yes, I understand. But they're close. They're too close. But you told me we'd be safe and there'd be enough time. A wet, rhythmic sound echoes faintly, like something breathing through soil. The man nods as if listening to a response, his eyes wide, feverish. No, I can tell that they're not like the students from last night. They are both forces outside this world. The boy contains a power he does not understand, and the other one seems empowered from outside or above. They'll go into the hollow again, just like you said. And maybe the children will drive them away. The children will drive them away, right? You need a few more hours before you can spread beyond the trees. He pauses, lips pressed tight, as if hearing an answer that makes him shiver. His fingers dig grooves into the edge of the desk. Yes. I'll prepare the chamber. But luring them here could be a mistake. Please promise you'll protect me. Please promise. The light above him flares, buzzing louder. For a moment, the shadows behind him shift, pulsing something alive. He squeezes his eyes shut. At one slight edge of the forest, a moss extends beyond the barriers of Shagarach Hollow. Attention, brave viewers. This video features adults immersed in a spine-chilling horror RPG experience. The content likely includes supernatural elements, horror-related events, and potentially scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy. So you split up in pairs, and Elias and Adriel ventured into Shagarach Hollows, encountered this moss, encountered like these moss children, which Adriel, you fought, but I think probably smartly ran as there were several of them, and you realized, that even just the first one was a bit of a challenge. Elias, on the other hand, really took some chances by directly communicating with this phenomena. And I think the two of you have learned some pretty valuable information. On the other side of town, literally, Van and Declan went and checked out Cornwell's home, found it empty, found samples of this moss in his garage, found a map, a very large map taped to the empty bookcases in his office, that seem to be of Shagarag Hollow, this mile, a couple miles long and wide, huge national park with a research facility circled in the center of that map. Van and Declan then packed up, and we are now coming back together early evening on a Sunday in the same parking lot where you guys came on campus. You're right in front of where the dorms are.
So what did you find?
We found a map and some potters that had some samples of some glowing moss.
And guess what, guys? I hold up this jug of some pesticide XXX stuff on it and say, this stuff killed it. What'd you guys find?
We found more than a little bit of the glowing moss.
We found some, the best way I could describe it is moss children. They are powerful. It was hard to take one down. There were many.
We also found Jerry.
Yeah, where is he?
Well, what was left of Jerry anyway?
Well, what remains of him.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Whatever this is, it consumes human flesh very quickly.
What was the map that you found? Did you bring it with you?
Yeah, so we put it on the hood of the car, and this is the map of Shagarag Hollow, and if you notice here on this, it's circled research facility. There's a facility in that forest that we were not aware of, that might be the root of all of this. Question is, can we get to it?
Did you say anything about a research facility when you were looking in the biology building? When you found his office?
I'm looking at the map and see if I can determine where we were and our encounter in relativity to the research.
Yeah, so you can see, Adriel, you can see where the university is. That's on the far right side of the map. You can see kind of the gate and the trail that you kind of followed going off of the university into Shagarag Hollows. And as best as you guess, you guys went in like 3/4 of a mile, and that puts you just shy of halfway to that facility. If you had continued on that pathway, it would have taken you, according to this map, a little bit of a winding pathway, but it would have taken you to this research facility.
And thinking back, did the children appear as it was being communicated to, or did I notice them prior to him communing?
Yeah, so I think the big takeaway for you, as having gotten as close to them as any of you, obviously, a couple things. One, the floor of this forest is now pretty much covered by this moss. And some of the trees, it's starting to work its way up a lot of the trees. It is overtaking, it's invasive. It's taken over Shagarag Hollow, at least as far as you can see. And these forms, these moss children, seem to be formed from that same moss. So they seem to be a part of it, not necessarily separate from it, but a formation that manifests almost up and out of the moss, but it's still part of the moss. Like when you got really close, where the quote unquote feet of this form would be, just bleeds seamlessly into the floor of the forest of that moss, if that makes sense.
They're like an outcropping.
So
Kind of, yeah. But they're definitely part of it, right? They're not a separate entity.
I would be interesting to see if those chemicals work on these moss children, for we're going to need it. When we were in there, the ground is covered, and it seemed like they were part of it. So I feel that as we enter, it's going to know, or whatever it is, right away that we're there and where we're heading. I feel like basically we'll be walking on top of it.
Is this weed killer we found, is it like a bespoke mixture that he made, or is it just like a name brand that we could buy?
I don't know if you know the answer to that, Declan, because it's in a container.
It's in its own container.
It's in its own container and it's labeled, right? And it's labeled weed killer, like in Sharpie.
Okay.
So whether it's something he made or, you know, he rebottled, I don't know.
Okay.
But it's probably like 3 or 4 gallons. It's a large container and it has a, like that weed killer spray
nozzle?
wand. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably not enough for us to spray consistently for a mile and a half to get into the research center.
I
Let's
would think
evaluate
we
the
would-
map to see if there's any kind of alternate entrances to this research center, like maybe this moss doesn't grow on water, and maybe there's a river that we can walk upstream, or maybe there's a magic zip line attraction that gets us there over the top of this stuff, right? Try to evaluate this map to see if there's any other alternate ways to get in that's going to be quicker.
Yeah,
Maybe
Van,
we
I think.
could-
Oh, go ahead, Derek.
Or maybe we could get an ATV or something.
I think really the 4 of you are now just really looking at this map and spending some time with it. So I'm good with an investigative mystery or a phenomena question, whatever you want to do. What sounds good to you?
If there's a research center up there, there has to be a path or a road of some kind, you would think.
Well, I think that
But it could be overgrown.
Yeah, I think we established like that you were on the road that would ultimately lead to it, but it's been overrun by the moss. Is the story so far, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yeah. So I think the path is still there. It's just we risk the moss the whole way.
Well, looking at the path, do we think we can just drive one of the vehicles?
I don't think a car is wide enough to get through there because it's think of it like a hiking trail. So maybe like mountain bikes.
I would say bicycle
potentially.
probably do
Yeah. I think like a 4-wheeler
bike.
might have some trouble as it gets dense.
A dirt bike do it?
I think so.
Okay.
Anything on 2 wheels, definitely.
Probably, yeah. Treacherous, but definitely doable. Again, imagine a hiking trail in a national forest, that type of thing. Van, what did you decide? You want to do just a standard investigative mystery, or did you want to do something different?
Yeah, just a standard. I'll have to make one of the questions kind of fit what we're trying to do, but we can make it work.
Great, let's do it. Let's plus sharp. What's your sharp?
Does a help out work in this?
I was going to say,
you want to help?
Yeah, I'll help.
Yeah,
All right.
somebody help, because I'm actually -1 sharp, so maybe I should be helping somebody else with.
Who has the highest sharp? We'll have you do the roll.
I think I do. I have 2.
I have.
Elias kind of pushes you guys to the side and hops up on the front bumper.
Yeah,
And-
let me figure this out.
So I do
All
my help roll first.
Yep. So we'll do the help out, which is plus cool. All right.
What do we get?
We ended up with an 8.
Okay.
So on a 7 to 9, your help grants them +1 to their roll. So it'll be a +1 for you, Elias. But you also expose yourself to trouble or danger.
Which means if I miss, you're taking it too, basically.
Yeah.
Or if Craig has something worse. Like,
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking, Adriel. I would like you to be a -1 forward when you first encounter these moss children again. And what I'm thinking is they're kind of taking over your brain a little bit. You're becoming maybe a little obsessed about them, especially I get the feeling that Adriel is not used to retreating when encountering things. So I think that you're going to maybe a little bit frazzled if you try the next time you try to kick some ass on a moss child, but it'll only be on the next time. You'll be good after that.
All right. Is there a place to mark that on our character sheets?
There isn't. Just remember it, or I'll do my best to remember it too. All right, Elias. Let's see. Do you want standard investigate, phenomenon question, or flexible?
Let me look at the flexible ones again.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
and this is new for the stream. So you have the standard investigative mystery, and you've heard me rattle in episode 1 the different options, the questions that can be asked. There's a phenomenon question, alternative investigative mystery. What the Remingtons are up against is a phenomenon, which is different than a monster. With a phenomenon question, you can also ask, how is this phenomenon doing this? What could fix it, cure it, or slow it down? How far does the effect reach? And what will be affected next? And then there's flexible questions, which on a 10 plus, you can ask 2 general questions or 1 specific, and then it cascades down from there.
I think I'm going to do just the regular investigating a phenomenon.
Let's do it. And you'll be a +1 because of Adriel.
Yeah. Oof, I needed it.
All right. So on a 7 to 9, you can hold 1.
Yeah, so I think fictionally, maybe how is this phenomenon doing this?
And if it's all right with you, Elias, I'm going to pull from a couple things, right? I'm going to pull from your knowledge of connecting with this thing, of seeing this thing, understanding and looking at the map. So as all this kind of pops into your head at once. You definitely believe there's a centralization to the intelligence of this phenomenon. So it's not like an ant colony where everybody's just a shared consciousness, right? There seems to be like a central voice to this. And I think we mentioned this when you were talking to it. This isn't supernatural. It's weird science. It's it's not like an entity that's possessing this moss.
Right.
Something was done to create this.
Right. So whatever it is, cut off the head, and
that's what you feel like. Yeah.
All right. So I know that didn't help with our question of how to get there, but it does reaffirm that we need to get there.
So I'm going to ask a question. Adriel, did this moss glow for you out in the hollow, or?
Yes, it was luminous.
It was luminous. Okay, the same sample was in the professor's garage. Just wanted to make sure it was the 2 and the same.
Well, I would suggest, I mean, even if we decide to look for alternate modes of transportation, that's going to take time. You have quite a bit of that chemical there. I think we should maybe really just save it if we run into moss children, and or if there is a prime entity or cluster or something like that, and we just make haste. Even if we were on a vehicle, if the assumption is if you're on it, it knows you're there, it's still going to know that we're there.
Right.
And it's affecting the trees. We don't know what it could throw out to hinder us. So all of that thought and preparation may just be a time waster.
Well, we do know to a degree. We know that it can throw out vines.
You're right.
A vine can stop a bike tire.
Yeah.
Craig, is the forest that are the trees dense enough to where even if we got a higher view, would we be able to see any kind of luminous light from the floor to see if maybe there's a cluster or population, or would that be a wasted effort to get a elevated view? Or
Yeah,
is that...
I think that Adriel and Elias probably could answer that question for you. The canopy looked real thick.
Okay.
So I don't know if getting above this thing would really reveal it. And you asked another thing, Van, looking at that map, as far as different ways in. The hiking trails seem to originate from that entrance by the college.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like, it's fenced off all the way around. So definitely if you could travel in the car and drive, 5-10 miles to get to different, places maybe where, the fence is close to a road or something like that. This is not the only way in by any stretch of the imagination, but I want you to realize like this thing is like 5 or 6 miles in diameter. It is a very large forest.
Yeah.
So looking at the map, is it pretty much dead center where it doesn't matter where we enter? It's pretty much the same amount of time.
Doesn't that work out perfectly for me?
Yes. Amazing.
The other ways won't have hiking paths.
Yeah. There's no indication there's any other path entrance for sure. Declan, I'm imagining, Van, Elias, and Adriel are kind of poring over the map. And maybe you take a moment and just kind of step away. Over across the quad from where you are, this is a Sunday night, and you notice someone walking from the campus quad. They seem to be headed towards the entrance to Shagarek, where Elias and Adriel were. He looks to be in his, and it's a little tough to know specifics because he's a good distance away from me, but he looks to me maybe in his early 30s. He's not an old guy by any stretch of the imagination. He is wearing a lab coat and has a shotgun.
But clearly, like, too old to be a student, you would think?
Too old to be a
Or
student.
an undergrad,
And
at least.
yeah,
Has
too
a
old to be a
shotgun.
student and armed as he's walking towards that entrance.
I'm going to see if I can get a closer look and cut an angle where I can almost intercept him. And I will kind of tap Van on the shoulder as I do this, but I'm not going to like turn around and adjust him because I'm trying to make sure I keep eyes on him.
Yeah, you have no trouble trailing him. He seems extremely focused. He's not casually looking to his left or to his right, which might be something you would do if you're carrying a shotgun through the center of campus. He seems laser focused on getting to that entrance of Shagarek. So you can get like real close if you wanted to, and I don't think that he would even notice you. Unless you wanted him to.
I've known Declan long enough. I follow suit, follow him, lean back, look at Adriel, kind of something's going on, follow and come around and watch our back, just so everybody's kind of in the know.
I kind of sigh and pull down on my waistcoat and jacket and make sure it's nice and straight and follow.
All right. I'm moving the countdown to dusk.
All right.
What are we
And
doing?
I'm going to keep telling him. And as I do, I'm going to make sure I have my scream is at the ready. I don't tend to go for lethal force if I can help it, but I do keep something on me just in case something does pop off. So I'm going to follow fairly closely, not like right behind him, but close enough to know that like he's not noticing me notice him, basically.
I move to actually intercept him from the front.
Yeah, I don't think I need a roll here.
Nope.
Yeah. He's walking. And Adriel, even if you are getting like in his peripheral vision, he seems to not care.
Did
You there?
He like stops for a second and turns and he goes, "What? Who are you?"
I am Adriel. Who are you?
"I'm busy." And he starts walking again.
I'll reach out and grab him by the shoulder. I said, my friend. And I'll talk to him in a soothing voice.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you want him to like stop walking and actually engage in a conversation. Let's do a quick act under pressure if we could. So that'll be plus cool. What's your cool?
1.
Nice. All right. Mark experience. You put your hand on his shoulder, and normally your soothing voice would calm him down. He makes eye contact with you and looks a little crazy, and the butt of that rifle hits the side of your face. And he says, "Leave me alone. I've got things that need to get done." So quickly take 1 harm for me, if you would, Adriel.
I will. I have. No, I don't think the divine armor doesn't work. It's not all over.
Oh, you have divine armor? Then it doesn't
yeah.
affect you. It's 1 harm. So no,
Okay.
you do not have to take another harm. I forgot about your armor. So you're still at harm 2. But
Okay.
he does knock you on your ass. Like
Okay.
he hit you good. And I think more than anything, you were blindsided.
If you're going after the glowing moss, you might want to wait a moment.
What do you know of it?
Stand up
And as he
enough to say that.
as Adriel is knocked down, Declan is going to then come running. He's not saying anything yet because he sees that Adriel is still trying to talk to this guy,
Okay.
but he's kind of like, "Hey, chill."
And I know that shotgun's not going to do much.
He goes, "Cornwall's out of control. And I'm partially responsible for this. And it has to stop."
At what point do I hear this conversation as I'm running?
You can hear it,
Like,
Declan. I think you could hear it. Yeah.
And how are you partially responsible?
I've been his assistant for a long time, and his work it's incredible work what he was doing in unlocking the way that vegetation has communicates, how even fungus is interconnected at great distances, how trees have a collective intelligence where they inform each other, like during a forest fire. And he was experimenting on this moss that he found in the hollow, and then he kicked me out. Wouldn't let me for 3 days now. He wouldn't let me in the lab or to do anything, and I haven't found him. And I can only assume he went out to the facility, and he's got this moss with him.
well, if you're trying to get to the facility, you're going to need more than that. You said he's been missing for 3 days.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen him for 3 days. I don't know how long he's been in there.
I think you need to come with us.
I don't even know who you are.
I think he needs to go back home.
He knows more about this moss than we do, but
Well, he can tell us about that. We shouldn't put him at risk. We already know that pesky shotgun that he's carrying will do absolutely nothing.
he's no more at risk than the rest of us. He's a lot more knowledgeable.
Um,
We've been
Beg to
here
differ.
for about a day, and we've been investigating this phenomenon with the moss. Is how we know about it. Some hikers went missing. One of them turned up dead, and we went to investigate at Cornwall's house. It was empty. We saw some samples of the moss, and we have this map, but we otherwise are trying to figure out how we can get in and out and figure out what the hell is going on to get to the bottom of it without anybody else getting hurt.
Well, to what you said about nobody else getting hurt, he can give us his information, but for you to allow him to come in with us puts his mortality at risk unnecessarily. We choose this life, and some of us have abilities that go beyond that. He doesn't. Are you willing to have his blood on your hands?
I'm willing to let that be his decision.
And he literally goes, "I'm standing right here, and I don't think you understand what's happening." And he pulls out from inside of his lab coat. He pulls up like a folded up paper, and he unfolds it. And you can tell, because of you spent so much time with the map on top of the car, that Van, this is also like a much smaller version of that map. And you can see where he has taken a marker and has drawn like a border that's all over. And he goes, I checked the sensor readings an hour ago. That moss is everywhere. And if we don't stop him and that moss extends beyond the forest, it's gonna consume the whole town, the whole school, and then who the hell knows what after that. So
Yes,
two of you
we
figure
know.
out what you want to do, and he kind of shoves the paper into your chest, Declan. But I'm going in there and I'm killing him.
And how do you plan to stop the moss? How do we stop it? How do we stop it from spreading? What are we supposed to do? What are you going to do?
There
Are you
has
gonna
to
deal
be
with the
a
moss
brain.
children?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Adriel.
How are you going to deal with the moss children?
I don't know. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get to the facility and I'm going to shoot that son of a bitch. And I bet I can guarantee that that's a central brain is there with him. And he starts walking off.
Adriel, respectfully, it looks like he made his choice. Now we can follow him and try to reduce harm as much as possible, or we can continue to argue about it. What's the play?
Well,
I'm going to I want to quickly cut to Van and Elias. What are you guys doing? You can kind of see this commotion happening.
I don't think Elias follows. I think Van may have, but Elias doesn't. He's still trying to figure out this map and this situation. And I think when he sees that they're all going towards this guy, he's not worried about them handling it. So instead, he goes back to the RV and gets his bike.
And remind me, is it a motorcycle or is it like a bicycle?
No, it's like a little kid's bicycle, like a BMX bike.
Amazing. I'm so excited right now.
That's awesome. Yeah.
What are you doing, Van?
Not nearly anything as cool as that. That was an awesome response. Van is watching from with a little bit of distance, but once he notices the hostility that he showed to his brother and the fact that he shoved the paper and tried to walk through my brother, that's the instant hut hike. I'm running full force at him to tackle him and disarm him, knowing that the situation needs to be calmed down.
Are you attempting to hurt him or just contain him?
Contain him. Yeah, I don't want to kill the guy, but
yep. So let's do a quick act under pressure. So that's going to be plus cool. Very nice. Very, very nice. You do what you set out to do. So you run past Declan, past Adriel, and you, like a good football coach has taught his students, you tackle him in the midsection. He goes flying down and you're on top of him. The shotgun kind of rolls off to the right outside of his reach. And he's subdued.
I'll walk over and pick up the shotgun.
And
My
upon
shotgun's
seeing this, Declan will walk up like another player's about to start talking shit after a good tackle, and he'll just say, "Look, you have two options, and I've always wanted to say this. You can go home, or you can come with us if you want to live."
No.
Did you not?
Who are you? Get off me! He's trying to get you off of him, Van. He can't.
No. I said, look, we're problem solvers. We're on the same team, believe it or not. What can you do to help us solve this problem?
I don't know.
What did I hear about these sensors? What does that even mean? Do you have real-time feed? Do you have something going on?
Back at the biology lab, we set up sensors when he planted the moss that he was growing in Shagrag Hollow. We wanted to measure its spread, and so we set up sensors all throughout Shagrag Hollow that would trigger. Once moss was close enough, it would trigger the sensors. And like the last time I looked at it was like 2 days ago, and there was just a little bit around the facility. And I go in there this afternoon and look, and it's taken over the entire goddamn forest. Like it's spreading, and it's spreading fast.
So he said he planted it. did you do any experiments about what could kill it, what could even slow down its spread? We found something at his home. We sprayed it on some of the moss, and it appeared to at least stop it glowing and to kill or at least slow it. Is there anything else that we know of?
So like it's still a moss, right? So he had a weed killer that he would use to contain it. And it would kill it. It very quickly came back to life though. We tried burning it and that would work. But again, with enough time, it reconstitutes itself. So the only thing that seemed to work was temporary. It has this incredible regenerative ability, I think. But it's still moss.
That was just a sample of the moss.
Yeah, this is just a sample in the lab that did this.
And we quickly cut away to something the four of you can't see, and we see it regrowing.
Oh shit!
In the garage.
Yeah.
I think Elias rides up on the BMX bike by now, and he's kind of, I'm sure you're starting to get used to the creepiness of this, but he's telepathic, so he catches up with your thoughts and what's going on here pretty quickly. And he says, I don't know that it's our job to decide whether this person goes on his quest or not, but I agree with Declan. If he's going to go, he needs to come with us. To go without on his own is truly suicide. That said, we have to get there.
I don't understand why you two are so eager to have those that are not attuned to what we do to journey down roads that they shouldn't be going.
It's not my job to tell someone what their road is. I'm not as pompous as that.
As the man said himself, he paved the road.
Well,
this is if he made his bed, he could lie in it.
I do agree with you, Elias. If anybody should not be telling anybody what they should be doing, it is you.
No, I don't think you should either.
I step in and kind of pull Adriel aside, say, brother, let's not go down that road. We're here for the moss. Let's stay on track.
And how do you feel about allowing this mortal that has no clue?
I think maybe you are immortal.
I am not talking to you. I am talking to Van. Be quiet, boy.
If you're talking about mortals, you're talking about me. I'd like to jinx him.
Ooh, okay. We're going to do a little use some magic. Let's do it.
So
you want to read it off?
Jinx is you can encourage coincidences to occur the way you want. When you jinx a target, roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, hold 2. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. On a miss, the keeper holds 2 over you to be used in the same way. Spend your hold 1 for 1. 2, interfere with a hunter, giving them -1 forward. Help a hunter, giving them +1 forward by interfering with their enemy. Interfere with what a monster, minion, or bystander is trying to do. Inflict 1 harm on the target due to an accident. Your target finds something you left for them, or the target loses something that you will soon find.
Ooh, let's do it.
Me and my partial successes.
So you got to hold 1, right?
Yeah, I get to hold 1. I'm going to hold it.
Okay.
For later.
Is this something recognizable?
I don't know.
I think if Elias failed, you definitely would have known that he was doing something. But I think I'm going to let Elias get away with this, Adriel. I don't think you know.
No,
he's jinxed you.
I would posit that he may be able to gather it when I use the hold.
I can see that. Yeah. But let's see what that looks like when that happens.
Yeah.
Van, he's not fighting you anymore. And not your burner phone, but your regular cell phone is buzzing in your pocket.
I'm going to quickly make it a priority and say, hold on, guys, hold on. Knock it off. And I step to the side and I take a look at the phone.
It says,
away from the group.
yeah, it says Mr. Condi, who you, of course, know. That's Sammy's dad.
Kind of deep breath, and I start walking back towards the RV and pick up. Hello, sir.
Hey, Van. You got a minute?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So I need to tell you some things, and I need you to hear me. And don't say anything until I'm done. And Van, I think this guy was like almost like a second father to you. You obviously were very close with Sammy, who was killed by the demon. You were there for the funeral. You spent a lot of time, I think, with Sammy's family, and you and Mr. Condi were pretty close. I think it's been a few years since you've seen or heard from him. So I think this is a bit of a surprise. He says, Van, I'm going to be retiring, which means I'm not going to run Sammy's place anymore. Very quickly, they owned about a year after Sammy's death. Mr. Condi bought a bar in your hometown, and they renamed it. It's like a sports bar. They renamed it Sammy's Place. I don't want to close Sammy's Place, and I'm giving it to you. And I think that's what Sammy would want. And I don't know what you've been up to. I know you haven't been around here for a couple of years, and I hear different stories that you are traveling the country and, getting involved with things, and nobody seems to really know what you've been up to. I want you to know, like, this place is yours. And I just need to know whether you're going to come home and run it. Cause I really do think that's what Sammy would have wanted. And I don't need an answer right now, but I just, can you call me after you've had some time to think about it?
Yes, sir. And thank you for reaching out the way you did. I will, let me call you back after. Is there a time limit to get back to you? Are you in immediate need to?
Van, this isn't a business deal. You're like a son to me. So take the time you need. I'll keep the bar stool warm for you. But this is your place. And if you don't want to do this, I understand. Again, I have no idea what you have been doing. And I'll close it and sell it. That's okay. I think, I don't know. I think Sammy would want you to take it over.
Thank you, sir. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. You'll hear from me soon.
Okay. And are you okay, Van?
There's never perfect timing to bring up Sammy. Just flood of emotions.
I understand. I understand.
Just caught me off guard. That's all. All things are good here. Let me get back to you. Thank you for calling. I really appreciate it, Mr. Condi.
I love you, Van.
You too. You too.
Hangs up. Cut back to to Declan, Adriel, and Elias. We have a spirited conversation occurring.
Yeah, I think at this point, Elias is standing there like straight back, arms locked straight down in fists, and he's kind of like getting aggressive, so speaking aggressively with Adriel. And he says, "You think you know so much because this demigod that brought you back to life told you lies. I know more than you'll ever learn. And your belief in this good and evil is so twisted and so so beyond what the reality is. Don't treat me like a child. I may only be 10 years old in this human form, but I've learned so much and I have access to so much information you'll never know.
And
Yet you speak on things that you know nothing of. Demigod? What demigod? Demigod didn't bring me back.
It is.
Van brought me back.
so, Elias, as you're having this conversation, I think a second conversation is also happening.
Mhm.
You know he's lying to you, right?
Of course.
You know not to trust him.
Yes.
But this was good. This was good.
And if you don't want me to treat you as a child, then quit acting like a petulant child.
Hey, Yugi and Kaiba, can we please relax and focus on the task at hand? I
I'm
appreciate we
looking-
have our differences, but we have a bigger problem to deal with right now. Can we please get back to it, gentlemen?
Exactly. That's what I
Wait.
learned.
I'm
You
waiting
too.
for Van to come back. At that point, I'm just tuning out the noise.
Is the assistant still there? Or did he
Right.
duck into the
he's like,
door?
yeah, he's
Duck
kind of,
away while we're arguing.
no, he's kind of sitting down on the grass, kind of, dusting himself off. This is riveting. Like, he has no idea who the hell the four of you are. Like, why the big guy is arguing with the guy in the suit, and there's a kid on a BMX bike, and some older dude tackled him. Like, he's just kind of sitting there. And he, of course, has no access to the shotgun unless he tries to get out Adriel's hand, which he doesn't seem to be interested in doing. So no, he's just sitting there.
So the point after I've kind of like stepped in and tried to like big man the situation to get everybody to calm down, at that point I will turn to the assistant and kind of just pop myself down on my haunches right there with him, like, listen, you're a grown man. I can't tell you what to do. What I do know is that, and you know this, that's why you brought a shotgun. You're putting yourself in grievous danger if you continue doing what you're trying to do. This is what we do. And I'll pull out the badge in kind of like a wink nudge kind of way. With the Forestry Service. Forest our business. The choice is
Help me out.
yours.
Yeah, help me out here a little bit.
Sure.
In
Declan,
my
are
head,
you?
I'm thinking, I'm sorry,
are
real quick.
you-
In my head, I'm thinking we should have used FBI. It would have been a lot easier.
Declan, are you trying to get him to do something here? Like, are we trying to manipulate him? Are we trying to talk him into not coming with you?
I was
Or
thinking about that, but no, I think I'm just at this point trying to kind of, he asked who we were, and I'm trying to like honor that and give him some insight as to
Yep.
like, this is what we do. That's why we're here. And I even, at the end, I'm even like, look, the choice is yours. That's why I was like, you're a grown man. I can't tell you what to do, but this is what we deal with on a day in, day out basis. So we're used to these kinds of situations. I can tell that he is very, very determined, and I don't want to disrespect that, but also want to like impart on him
Yep.
that he is not just possibly, probably going to die if he continues persisting and like going into that forest right now.
and I think he kind of knew that anyway. But I think you kind of forcing the subject, right, and bringing it up again. He's nodding with you, and he looks at you, Declan. And he says, "You think you guys can stop this moss?"
I think we've got a better shot than you do.
Can you promise me you'll kill him?
Sounds like we're going to have to.
He stands up and he puts his hand out to shake yours, Declan. And he says, my name's Mike. I'm going to go back to the biology lab and I'm going to watch the sensors. And if I don't see it retreating in the next 2 hours, I'm coming back out. And he kind of puts his hand out in a gesture, Adriel, to like basically asking for the shotgun back.
You're
Before
going to need this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, before you go, can we get the contact info? So can I give him my burner number, or can you give a phone number so we can keep in contact?
Yep.
If you
Definitely.
see anything, if something changes, something doesn't feel right, contact
I'll call
us.
you. I call you, but if I don't see it retreating on the sensors in the next couple hours, or if I don't hear from you, and he takes the gun back from you, Adriel, as you hand it to him, he goes, I'm going to come out and I'm going to finish this, or die trying.
If we don't manage to do this, good luck. But and then I just turn around and walk back towards the vehicle.
So he heads back towards the quad and obviously towards the biology building. Van will have you walking back, the four of you together.
You good on?
Adriel, are you leaving? Or are you going back to the parking lot?
Just where Van was, just walking towards
Okay.
back where Van
All right.
was.
Yeah. So let's have the four of you then here at the edge of the quad, 100 yards or so from the entrance of Shagarite Hollow.
You all right?
Yeah. Wrong number. We're good. I see that the kid with the shotgun's going the other way. We figure out a way to get him out of here.
Mike's going to go back to the biology lab and watch the sensors for us. I gave him my burner so he can contact us if anything was off. And he said, I bought us 2 hours before he tries to go in here and get himself killed.
All right. What's the plan, guys? We heading in?
Yep, grab the weed killer.
And so I'll say, because I was going to, steal the weed earlier, that I have at least a lighter on me, if nothing else.
Okay.
And as we walk in, I'll retrieve the gas can that I had placed off to the side of the entrance.
Yep. That's there. Yep. As the four of you get there, where you stashed that gas can was like on the other side of the fence that separates the college from the university from the national forest. You see the gas can there, and the other thing that you notice, Adriel, is in the 30 minutes since you left and all of this happened, it looks like that moss has spread like another 2 feet closer to the entrance. Let's take a 10-minute break. So my 4 hunters, we've got Weed Killer, which we at least worked on the sample that was in Cornwell's garage.
For a while.
The Weed Killer.
I said
whether
for a
it's
while.
gonna- Oh, for a while, yes. I thought you said for what? I'm like, you were there. And we've got a gas can with probably about 2 gallons worth of gas in it. We know Declan has a lighter, so if anybody has some weed or needs to kill some weed, Declan is equipped and ready to go. And you guys are here at the entrance.
It'd probably be pretty trippy if you smoked this stuff.
I bet it would be. Derek, you're bringing your bike?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or Elias, sorry.
Elias is bringing his bike.
All right.
All right,
Move forward.
let's do it. I'll lead the way. We'll just start walking up this this path based on the I guess the smaller map that that we took away from the assistant.
Yeah, and Van, as you walk up, you don't see a path. You just see where the trees were cleared for a path, right? All you see is this moss. It is completely covering ground. And this is both for Van and Declan, the first time that you've seen this. You can see this moss is like about, I don't know, a good 2 feet up all of the tree trunks. And it's got just that slight like glow. And it's slight to the point where maybe it's not bioluminescent, but then maybe it is, right? It's just like, is it a trick of the eye or what's happening here? I think with you in front, Van, let's have you read a bad situation. So that's going to be plus sharp. I'm going to hold 1. I'll let you know when I use it.
I'm gonna
Yeah. Something happens off screen.
I'm gonna speed up to get next to Van. I'm gonna lean in. We have to be successful. The 30 minutes that we were gone, the moss had already advanced about 2 feet.
More than 2 feet, right?
No, about 2 feet. It's extended closer to the entrance.
Oh, I thought we were much further from the entrance when we got free of it before.
Oh no, you were. It was like maybe like 5-10 yards.
Oh, okay, I thought we had to go further to get, or after we got out of the moss to get back.
So you can do the math on that.
Yeah. Let's make haste. I guess as we're walking, is the moss reacting as we're walking on around?
That was going to be my next question. Is are we just going to walk on the moss and head where we think the trail is?
There's no way to really avoid the flooring, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Pause. I have an idea.
Oh.
Bottoms of our shoes. Pesticide.
I get to pump in that pesticide sprayer.
Well, one,
Declan.
how long is it going to last, and is it worth the usage of it? 2, if this can detect things, if it's connected, like I believe Mike said, and you do damage to it, it might point us out.
The second one's a good point. The first one, I don't know how long it would last. I do think that it would use so little of it that I'm not really super concerned about how much of it we would waste on this. I don't know how long it would last. And you're right, we don't know if that would send us an alarm signal. So let's keep that idea in the back pocket.
I mean, we were, when I just kind of moved my head towards Elias, we're coming up here initially. Things really didn't start going wrong until he started communing with the tree, from my recollection.
Of course.
So,
No, it's all connected. It knows we're here. It may not be sending up alarm signals, but it already knows.
so then not hurting it would probably be a good thing at this point.
I look to Elias and say, "Kid, what's your recommendation on this? Is this thing going to know?"
I think so.
Potentially be an aggressor if we come at it aggressively.
I'm actually going to have Elias. I think I want to read a bad situation from you, and I'm going to give you a +1 because of your previous contact with this thing.
Sure. Read a bad situation. +1. Hey, I got a full success.
All right. So on a 10+, you hold 3. So just for the audience, real quick, here are the questions that are available to you. What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims?
Mm-hmm.
And you already know this, but for everybody else, that hold 3, as long as the situation, warrants it, Elias does not have to spend all 3 right now. He can continue that and spend a hold later, as long as it makes sense that he would get new information later.
Yeah, that the situation hasn't changed.
Right.
Enough. Yeah, but I think I'm going to spend 2 of them right now to try to answer Van's question.
Yeah.
So the first one is, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So, Elias, when Van asks you that, you kind of pause and you notice figures in the distance, to your left, to your right, and ahead of you. So it already seems, unlike before where you had traveled a good bit in, right? Before you saw these things, it looks like these Moss children are at least watching you. So I think that answers that question. I think you also notice maybe some vine activity, but not immediate threats.
Right.
But those dangers are out there. So you notice those.
And then, of course, what's our best way in?
Because of your communal conversation with this Moss, you're 100% right that it knows you're here already, whether you have stepped or touched the Moss yet or not. It seems to have an incredible situational awareness. So that for a fact, like we're not sneaking up on this thing. Declan's idea is not the worst idea, Elias. You don't get a sense like we'd be in more danger if we were in some way protecting ourselves from the Moss or clearing a path or doing something along those lines. It knows we're here. And it I don't think that would change or increase the danger. I don't think you believe that. Does that help?
Yeah, for sure. Basically, like, even though it will alert them, it's no more than it already knows, and it at least gives us some sort of a barrier before it.
Yeah, and this thing didn't feel like emotional. It didn't feel like, if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. It seems to be.
It didn't seem to recognize that delivering the bones of Jerry was not the same as delivering
exactly.
Jerry. So, yeah. So I'll convey that. I'll say no. I think it might be a good idea. It already knows we're here. We can't change that. But we can try to give ourselves some modicum of a barrier between us and it.
As we're walking, I don't know, I'd like to use magic, and since we have maps of where the places that we're going to, I'd like to reach out, and I'd like to try to use the effect of observe another place.
Ooh, I like that idea. All right, so let's let's see what the result is there.
Use magic.
So I'll be plus weird.
Are you invoking anything on me there?
No, nope. I'm holding that -1. It's not happening here.
Okay. And what about Elias?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to get your effect, but it works imperfectly. So at the bottom, you have a couple options there. I need you to choose a glitch for me.
Sure. Let's see. Short duration. So I get a glimpse, maybe.
Yeah. So, Adriel, what does this look like as you are attempting to, remote view a different location?
Are we familiar with what's the Army of Darkness series with Ash?
Evil
I
Dead.
never watched it.
Was it Living Dead? Oh, you didn't? So
Evil
what
Dead.
they have, all right. So what it is when the evil is there, it goes to like first person, and it's like moving through. So it's basically like a incorporeal entity in first person view, seeing the surroundings and what's going on, and it can like go through doors and things like that.
So yeah, so I'll definitely narrate from that perspective. What I'm really curious though is what does Declan, Van, and Elias see? Do they see anything as they're watching you do this?
Yes, my golden eyes actually start glowing.
Somehow, almost like an out-of-body experience, you are deeper suddenly in the woods. And you can tell you're still on this path, even though, again, you can't see the path. You just see moss below you. And you're flying through it, and you see a clearing. And you see a one-story, and it probably is best described as like a military bunker. Pretty good sized, maybe like 50 yards deep and across. Has got a concrete door, U.S. Forestry Research, the University of the South. So it's got emblems of both federal as well as of the university. And it's got moss almost covering it completely. And to the point where it almost feels like moss is even spilling out of it somehow. And then you're back.
Okay. I don't say anything. Nothing really to say. I mean, that's the idea that we all have of what this is anyway. So.
You definitely have a sense of direction, Adriel. You know how to get there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, with that, this is where we're going, and the building is the source. The moss is literally pouring out from it. So I have a feeling the closer we're going to get. Did I notice any children or anything like that around? So this is a fortified bunker we're approaching. So there may be some issues trying to get in. So be ready. But I know exactly where we're going.
Elias, are we riding the bike or walking the bike?
Riding.
Okay.
I think that fits in with, he already kind of had that idea of keeping his feet off the ground.
And are we going to use Declan's idea?
With the spring, the boots.
Yeah, boots and the tires.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, based on what Elias came back with. And then I'm going to make the comment, Declan, should we call this assistant to see if we need any special credentials or passwords to get into this building? Or actually, no, I wouldn't know that. Only, never mind. Rewind. That was his vision, not mine. My bad.
Well, I told him that we oh no, we didn't see he didn't see the building, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
We'll call him when we get there.
yeah.
We'll metagame
Now,
later. Yeah.
Can I would the vision that I had allow me to maybe read a bad situation to help get us there with minimal encounters?
We're just trying to look at the list of questions and see if there's. I don't know.
Or any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that. Yeah, yes. Let's read bad situation. Let's read a
Sure.
bad situation.
Okay.
You're not going to want to ask the same questions Elias asked because
Okay.
you'll get the same answers Elias got.
Okay.
All right, Mark, experience. If you would, Adriel. And I'm going to hold one against you as well. So I've got a hold against both Van and Adriel, plus a -1 going forward against Adriel. So you guys are loading me up, which I very much appreciate.
You're welcome. And that did hit my 5 experience.
Oh, very nice. So we'll talk about advancement at the end of the session. So we see the tires of the BMX bike start to roll on top of the moss. We see the shoes that the three of you are wearing as you step, and it's having an effect. Like you can see it brown and blacken and withdraw from your feet, leaving literally footprints and a trail of the BMX bike as you go. In the corners and your peripheral visions, you're getting senses of movement. I think Adriel, you know instinctively what those things are, and they don't seem to be encroaching on you, but you all four feel very, very watched, very observed. And after about half mile or so of the four of you traveling in, it is now dark. So just real quick, can I get a sense of, do we have flashlights? What do we have going on here? Because there's a little bit of ambient light coming off of the moss, but not enough really to have some vision.
I imagine we would have that sort of thing in the HQ, and
yeah, and I'm sure you would have brought it with you. So yeah. So everybody's going to use flashlights. So we're going to have 1 flashlight, 2 flashlights. What are we thinking?
I mean, high-powered LED flashlight. Well, I guess now.
So I think at least
2005.
There was mag lights.
Figure at least Declan would have. Yeah, figure at least Declan would have one because he'd think he's the biggest in the group, so he'd be able to shine the light the furthest. And that's probably like his job in jobs like these is kind of be one of the people be the point person with the light. I don't know if anyone else would want or have one.
Yeah, I mean, Van's 9mm has the tactical light up front to as needed and uses that in emergencies.
Awesome.
I'm thinking maybe there's like a bike mounted like headlight kind of thing on the BMX.
Sold. Adriel, is that enough light for you?
He's got the flaming sword.
Is it coming out?
Yeah, if I notice the things that are around me, yeah, I'll pull it out.
So Declan, you've got the mag light, and you've got to hold it like the cool way, right, above your shoulder, and you're kind of shining.
You can use it as a club if you need to.
Yeah, and it is a damn mag light. There's a reason people put it in their trucks, and it's not because they wanted a flashlight.
I just thought of an idea that makes, I think, more sense.
What's that?
The end of one of Declan's scream is a mag light. So the sticks he's already got on him, it's just got a light built into the bottom of it.
Amazing. Absolutely love that. Yeah, so one of your fighting sticks, you flick, and it's just like a floodlight that comes out of the bottom of one of those fighting sticks. Declan, from your perspective, as you're walking, you've got Elias is always, a little bit ahead of you, being on the bike. And you're just constantly sweeping. You can feel the heat and the light from the sword just off to your back left. And as you sweep, you see Van holding his 9mm, and he's got the light on top of it, using that to go his path. And as you're kind of doing your sweep, you go back to the right, and you can see that a vine has come off from deeper in the forest, and I'm using my hold one. Van, it is grabbed onto your chest and is pulling you off of your feet and off of this path into the woods itself. And at the same time, we see it happening to Adriel as well. So those are both of my holds on bad situation for you both. You're both being grabbed by those, so I need you both to take 2 harm. And Adriel, your armor works here, so it'll just be 1 harm for you. It'll be 2 for you, Van, as you guys are pulled off of the trail into the forest itself.
Shit. Declan catches this.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
I do a protect someone move?
Definitely. Are you gonna try to protect Van?
Yeah, if it's close enough to use since I have my flaming sword out to cut his vine so he doesn't get pulled.
I absolutely love that. So let's do that. Give me a protect someone. That's gonna be plus tough. Dang. So on a 10 plus, you get to choose an extra. So you're going to protect them, okay, and you'll suffer some or all of the harm that they were going to get. So that would be 4 harm coming to you, but from 2 different sources. So it would end up being plus 1 harm, so plus 2 harm. But you get to choose an extra. You can suffer little harm, so you can lower the harm by 1.
Does that mean he's not taking the 2 harm?
Correct.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I will -1, so that way his 2 harm does nothing to me.
Right. So you're just going to take the 1 harm. So that's going to bring your harm up to 3, right?
Yeah,
Mine's at 0 because of my
And yours is at
amazing
0.
brother.
Correct.
correct.
Now,
And
as go ahead.
I was gonna, as I see the vines, oh shit, and I see Adriel swing for the fences at Van to free him. I'm going to pull my knife and protect on Adriel to try to get him cut loose at the same moment.
Let's do it. Plus tough.
All right. There we go. All right. Said protect someone.
So that means I take no damage because my 2 damage goes to him. Vance comes to me, but I reduced it to 1 and my armor absorbed 1, right?
So, well, actually, it's a little bit different than that because there was 2 harm going to Van and 2 harm going to you. You freed up Van and picked up his harm. So that was going to be 2 sources of 2 to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your armor reduction, you would only have ended up taking 2 harm total, right, of the 4.
Okay.
So you're going to go back down to 2. And I've got 4 harm coming into Declan. But Declan, you can choose an extra.
Now, the -1 that I took, that kind of doesn't
All of this,
matter
yeah,
anymore.
you're no longer being hurt, right? So you saved Van, and now Declan is saving you.
Carries over to help him out.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
You know what? I'm good with that. Take the 1 harm off of Van, and then it'll be just 2 harm coming to Declan. I'm with you. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily. It doesn't transfer twice. I got you.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Declan, you have 2 harm coming to you as the Van, as you separate this vine, and Adriel falls right after right after Van falls, and the vine that you're severing is coming up and will potentially basically smack you.
And I think based on the extras here, the only one that I feel like really makes sense right now is to reduce the harm. So I'll take 1 harm from that.
100% correct. So that is going to leave 3 for Adriel total and 1 harm for Declan, no harm for Van. You guys are so good to each other.
I'm sorry. I'm at 3.
You're at 3 total. Yeah.
No. I should be 2 total still, right?
So you were at 2, right?
Right.
Right. And then you took the 2 from Van, but your armor reduced it by 1.
And then I reduced it by 1 to 0.
No. It was 2 to Van.
Mm-hmm.
You take that 2, which was reduced to 1 because of your armor. Your armor's only 1, right?
Right, but I took the 10 plus -1 to the harm.
I'm
So
with you.
his
Okay,
2
yeah.
went to 1, went to 0.
Went to 0. Yes, I'm sorry.
And then
That's
my
100% right.
2
Yep.
went to.
We're good. Yep, I got you. So yeah, you're at harm 2.
Math's hard when we're so successful.
I know. You guys are being so good nice to each other, protecting each other.
Yes.
So after all of that,
Elias
we've
kind of
got-
like stands up on his bike pedals and looks back and is like, "What are you doing? Let's go. We gotta move."
Meanwhile,
completely-
Declan's got a hand over his eye because he got smacked in the face with a vine. He still has his knife in his hand.
That's dark.
Adriel gets up and walks over to Declan and he puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "Thank you." And I'm going to attempt to lay on hands to heal him.
Ah, very nice. So I think this is the first time we've used this on somebody else. Can you read it out to us real quick?
Sure. It's your touch can heal any injury or disease. When you lay your hands on someone hurt, roll plus cool. On a 10 plus, heal 2 harm or an illness plus they're stabilized. On a 7 through 9, you can heal the harm or illness, but you also take it into yourself. On a miss, my aura causes them extra harm.
All right, I like it. Look at this teamwork.
Is this the point where I should interfere?
All right. So you are healed, but I take it upon myself. So now you have your 3. I don't know. Does my divine armor work? on
No, that won't help with lay on hands.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. So I'm at 3 now.
You
But
are
you're
at
healed.
3.
And I'm
Can you give?
Yeah, you got it.
Dec-
And I'll like take my hand off.
Yeah. So like where you were hit, it just instantly closes up. Just think Wolverine type thing, and you feel fine.
All right.
So you stand back up. I put you back at 0 harm, Declan.
All right.
You and Adriel step up. You're being goaded by Elias to continue forward. And you can stop me at any point as I narrate this. As you're traveling forward, it's going to be a good 2.5 miles to get to this bunker. And the entire time you're being followed, you're being watched. No additional vine attacks for some reason. And Elias, you're up ahead of everybody. At first, you're wondering maybe if it's the spray on the tires, but you quickly realize it's not, and that the moss is retreating to open the path in front of you. You can now see the floor of the forest. All 4 of you are noticing the moss retreating from the path, but only in front of you.
Any chance he'll just turn himself in willingly?
No.
I know.
So I think
Now
I
it
have a
seems-
hold left, right?
You do?
For investigate or for
Yep.
a bad situation.
Yep.
I think now I'd like to use it and say what's most vulnerable to me.
It's clear that this that this weed killer is effective. And you get a sense, and this is going to be some recycled information, but it'll still answer the question or maybe clarify things. This idea of now you're seeing it open up, and you get a sense you're being invited forward, which reinforces the central nature of this thing.
Sure.
So I think you're just kind of piecing it all together. Like there is some sort of central intelligence that's involved here. Maybe you're not crazy about the fact that it is now welcoming you and encouraging you forward. But you do believe that the information Mike gave you was accurate, which is said that obviously this pesticide works. And he also mentioned the fire, though not permanent, definitely affects the moss itself.
Okay. I guess what I was trying to find out is what's vulnerable to me, not what is it vulnerable to.
Oh, see, I've always read that is what is vulnerable to me? Like, what can I do that, like the vulnerability in that?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. And if you're saying that it's used the pesticide in the gas and fire, then that's the answer.
Yeah, I think maybe, if we have a central intelligence and you connect to it, maybe that's something as well.
Sure.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a mental component here. Then you talk to it.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Thanks.
So let's have you four reach this bunker.
Yeah, nobody turns back, right? We're not scared of the trap, the clear trap that's being laid for us.
Expected.
And it's exactly what you saw, Adriel, before, but different in the fact that the moss has retreated from the door, which was not the case when you looked last time, when you were doing the remote viewing, and it's also cleared itself from the keypad to the right of it.
This is interesting. When I was here before, the entire thing was covered. Now it seems the door and keypad are revealed to us.
I look to Elias and say, can we speak freely, or do we need to be concerned about this thing hearing and understanding?
I don't think Elias knows the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
So
I don't.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Elias.
I think my gut tells me that we don't speak the same language.
Or it can see and hear through the children that are scattered amongst us.
Because I didn't use telepathy on it before. I used magic on it before to talk to it. So I think Elias says, I don't know its capabilities. Can I try to reach out to it telepathically?
You sure can. Yeah, you want to use magic?
See if it can read minds or has that sort of mind.
Yeah, so what's the effect you're going for?
I think I'm actually trying to manipulate it,
Okay.
and I want it to tell me what it's capable of. That's what I want.
Oh, very nice.
Anybody want to help? I don't know how.
I don't think anybody can. Not for what you're trying to do.
All right. Sorry, guys. We'll see. If my rolling continues poorly, this is going to be bad. Yeah.
So go ahead and mark the experience. You put your hand down, Elias, to the edge of the path, and I'm imagining your fingers kind of being brushed through like it's a rug, kind of brushing through this moss. And in the same way as before, where it wasn't like the voice, right? It wasn't a conversation. It was just, it was an imparting of knowledge. Like just suddenly you started knowing things. And as you are getting the sense of like, where are you vulnerable? How can I hurt you? You immediately get a sense of there's no hurting me. And it feels like a pike has been jabbed into your skull.
Mm-hmm.
You fall off your bike onto your knees and you're taking 2 harm.
Okay.
All of you see Elias effectively collapse after touching the moss.
Van goes rushing to his side, helping him up. Elias, you good?
I'll be okay. But this being entity is formidable. We have to be careful.
So at this point, we've arrived at the door of the facility, and it's locked with a keypad.
It appears to be the case. There doesn't seem to be like a handle or any way to open up this bunker door.
Did you have Mike, I believe it was, information where you could call?
Yes.
Why don't you see if maybe he has the code?
Yeah, and I will dial the number Mike gave me.
So you dial it, and it rings, and it rings, and it rings.
Has it been more
No
than
answer.
2 hours?
No.
That never bodes well.
I'm going to say something as if this thing may understand me. If you want us to go through this door, we need a code. Can you show us? And see what happens. Just
Speak friend and enter.
Yeah, Van, I think you're speaking into the air at this point, right? Like,
shot in the dark. Yeah.
but the door opens and it opens to a hallway with buzzing fluorescent lights, like a track down the center of this hallway. And the floors and up the walls all have this moss on it. And almost bubbling up, almost like it appears from the moss, we see a lab coat come up and a watch. And Declan, you shook Mike's hand and you noted the watch he was wearing.
And it's the same watch.
It got Mike.
It got Mike. Unless he happens to have very similar taste in timepieces to someone else who works in the lab. It got Mike. They said the door opened for us.
Yep.
Is the path cleared down the center like a...
No, the
Yellow
moss
brick
is
road.
there.
Maybe it's time to start using...
Both Adriel and Elias at the same time start to say the same thing.
So what do we do?
Van, you have, I think this is probably the time to start using the weed killer.
Yeah. Not only do I kind of start spraying the weed killer around us to create kind of a protective ring, I'm going to start dousing my jacket and my pants with this killer. And I'm going to wield my knife.
Is there
So
any
you-
light coming from inside the bunker? Or do we still need our flashlight?
No, you got the fluorescent lights like a track
lights.
down this hallway. So yeah, you don't, if you want to turn off your flashlights, you can.
That's a pretty good idea, Van. Do you mind dousing me also?
Yes. Yeah. Declan, Elias,
Yep.
interested?
So we've got like this barrel, this plastic barrel. You set it down, you start doing the pump on the top of it, and you've got the wand, and you're spraying first on like in front of you on the ground, and it browns and it pulls back from where you're spraying, and you douse all three of your family members, and everybody just reeks of this weed killer. And except for Adriel, like you're seeing it like kind of erode the clothing a little bit. It's not gonna like eat up the clothes, but this stuff is toxic as shit.
Yeah.
And that's very apparent from the smell and how everything is. It's not affecting Adriel's suit at all, though.
He still looks quite clean for some reason, as always.
I'd like to preemptively, since we're all getting prepared here, I think I'd like to enchant my knife.
So a little use magic on the knife.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's do it.
Why not?
Hey, you've been rolling great.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. So on use magic on a 10 plus, the magic works without issues. Choose your effect. And that is to enchant the weapon.
Yeah.
It gives it
+1 harm plus magic.
Yeah, +1 harm plus magic is now a quality, a tag for that weapon.
Van, would you like yours enchanted?
Hand it over. Yes, please.
We're gonna do the same thing, Adriel.
Yep, let's see. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Let's bless that knife.
Oh.
All right. All these good rolls.
So Adriel takes the knife and places his hand over it, and there's a divine glowing encompassing his hands and the knife, and then it dims all except the blade. The blade has a faint divine glow to it. Not enough to give light, but kind of like a glow stick type thing. Hands it back to Van.
I love it when you do that, brother.
So at this point, seeing that they both got enchanted knives, he's got a flaming sword, I will turn to Adriel and just for the gas can, since I don't have an enchanted weapon.
Do you have any? What weapons do you have out?
I have my knife with me. Can you enchant more than one person at a time?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my.
Yeah, let's do it.
Want me to try?
Yeah, I've got my knife on me as well.
All right.
Me too. Where's the line start?
Exactly. No go on that one.
Nope.
So, Adriel, as you bless that knife and you hand it back to Van, and we see that supernatural just glow. And Van, when you grab that knife, it feels really good. And Adriel, as you turn, taking the knife from Declan, same process happens, but instead of it glowing, it rapidly rusts and crumbles. Declan,
Yeah.
remove the knife from your inventory, please.
Problematic side effect. So I
What
I
happened?
I look at
I
him.
like that knife.
I guess you weren't worthy, and I hand the gas can over.
Dang. All right.
And just to build into the flavor a little bit, my knife, I think his enchantments glow. Mine are almost like shadow, like almost like looking into the void,
Like absorbs light.
like you almost can't see it. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. So the four of you continue down this long hallway, and you see an archway ahead. And there is a considerable amount of light pouring out of this. And once you're within 20 yards of this archway, you can see the shape of a man standing. It looks to be like 20 or 30 yards from the door. You can see he's got gray hair. He's backlit, so you can't see his face. But you do see the edging of his gray hair and the balding. This is matching pictures that you guys saw at his office.
In his office. Cornwall.
Yep. Lab coat. And it appears he has a shotgun. The walls are completely covered. Everything is moss covered. And he says, don't come in here. Don't come in here. It'll kill you.
I'm going to telepathically tell him, this is madness. You have to shut the experiment down.
And what's sent back to you is not him. It's that sensation again. And it says, you're welcomed here. We lost DJ. Hopefully he'll come back. We can keep playing.
Now, was the professor, is he covered in anything?
He's backlit, so I don't think you know.
He at least still has hair.
Even with our light shining on him?
Oh, if you want to pull the light out,
I have
you
my
shine the
flaming
light.
sword out.
I don't know if that'll reach because he's a good 30, 40 yards away from you, but let's assume that Declan throws the light up and shines it on him. And you can see that he has some moss like coming up from his neckline. He also is barefoot and seems welcomed and touched by this moss as well. He does have a shotgun. He does have it pointed towards you. He has a crazed look in his eyes. Let's do a quick, Adriel, do a quick read a bad situation for me. Now that we've got some new light coming through here. On an 8, on a 7 to 9, you can hold 1. So take a quick look at those questions and tell me which one you want to ask or if you want to hold it.
Guess what's the biggest threat?
The biggest threat is not him and his shotgun. It's not the Moss Child, which you now see to his left. The biggest threat is not visible yet.
Okay, can you do, so we're in a hallway?
You're in a hallway just outside this huge room. You're about 15, 20 yards from the archway that leads to this big room, and you don't even have a sense of just how big it is. Welcome back, DJ.
And him and the Moss Child are in the hallway.
No, they are in this room. They're
Okay.
like a good 10 or 15 yards deep into the room.
Into the room. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And what this room is and what it was is almost impossible to know because it is just covered in this moss. And as you read this bad situation, you identify the threats. He's a threat. He's got a gun, a shotgun, which is aimed at us. He's a threat. You see the Moss Child to his left. You know that's a threat. You've encountered that thing before or a version of it, right? But you just instinctively know, Adriel, that neither of them are the biggest threat.
I say to everybody, those are not what we're here for. And then I want to use magic. And basically what I'm going for is trap a specific person, minion, or monster. I'm going to try to trap the scientist.
Excellent. So you're going to go after Cornwall?
Yeah.
It's plus weird, baby. Go ahead, Elias. All right, on
So
a 10 plus the magic.
you are welcome here.
That's what you got back, but it wasn't Cornwall that said that.
Right.
It was just knowledge you had suddenly as you try to telepathically connect with Cornwall.
So,
What's this look like?
So as I say that, you see Adriel just flick his hand, and you see these light glowing chains extend out and then detach and wrap themselves all around Cornwall and pin him in place.
Yeah, pulls him in, and the gun, the point of the gun goes up to the ceiling as he's constricted by these magical chains that you've wrapped him around, Adriel. I think that makes you the target of the Moss Child behind you. So I'm going to need you to kick some ass. You just get a sense that I'm being watched. There's something behind me. And you turn around, and it's about 3.5 feet tall, a little bit taller than Elias, and it's going for you. And it's kind of grown out of the moss on the ground. So on a 7 with kick some ass, you're going to exchange harm. So the Moss Child is going to do 2 harm with the vines that are coming out of it, which is only 1 harm for you.
Which takes me to 4 and unstable.
Yes. We'll talk about that in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hit him for 3 harm. That's fire and holy tagged.
Perfect. So let me just quickly update. Adriel, you are now unstable and at 4. What happens here is you strike it with that flame and you see the burning, right? You can just see it slice into this child, and the vines wrap around your torso, but unlike before, the tips of them dig into the small of your back, and it's starting to wrap around your spine, like inside your body. And that's your unstable. And for those watching from a rules perspective, once you reach 4 harm, you basically gain a condition unstable, in which case at as the narration, as the keeper sees fit, I can just keep ticking harm off of Adriel. It's kind of like a bleeding out situation, unless there's something that can relieve that condition of unstable.
As the fiction demands.
Yep. So you guys are seeing Adriel turn, slicing this moss child with the sword, obviously having a huge effect, cutting through the body of it. But from its hands, these vines have wrapped around Adriel, and you can see the blood coming off of his back where these things have entered his body.
Van takes notice and instantly jumps into action, starts swinging his knife at cutting these vines from their source, and fighting whatever entity is controlling this right there in his vicinity.
So you're going right for this moss child. That's all right. Beautiful. Let's do it. You can also kick some ass.
And I've got a +1 because I'm using my signature weapon.
Excellent. And it's also blessed, right? So you also has +1 harm.
Yes.
Very nice. 9. So you're going to exchange harm with this one. It knocks you with a third arm that kind of grows out of its side. It knocks you for 1 harm. You get slammed up against the wall. And what's the total harm you're going to do to the child?
2 + 1, 3.
Ooh. You're going to vanquish this thing. What's it look like?
I'm imagining I like any kind of source to, like you've seen on TV, any kind of entity. It just kind of plumps down to the ground and kind of squishes. It doesn't form anymore, and so I feel as if once I hit that swing and I cut him loose, that the moss child just goes flat and melts into the floor of maybe a dark brown dead look, not luminous anymore.
And I think it does. I think it gets reabsorbed into it. But between the strike of the flaming sword and this blessed knife, we see it almost as if insecticide had been sprayed there. Like it absorbs into this ground, and that ground browns around it and pulls back from it. The vines release you, Adriel, but you are bleeding in the back after these vines have retreated from your spine. And like you're literally probably on your knees at this point, Adriel. You are not well. What are we doing?
I think Elias is calmly striding forward towards the room.
So Elias is heading to the room.
Hypothesis of how welcome here he is, and gonna look to see what's going on.
And I'm gonna follow behind Elias, almost like I'm taking him to the rear, like keeping his back safe while we approach.
So, Van, do you go too, and we're just gonna leave Adriel in the hallway?
No, I'm next to Adriel, waiting to act. So yeah,
Please. What are you gonna do?
If you don't mind, I think he's doing that while the fight's happening. Elias is.
Great.
Like he's not even distracted by the fight.
Perfect.
So I don't know if that changes anything for Declan.
No, I'll cut to you as soon as I find out what Van's doing.
so Van instantly grabs one of the shotgun shells from his early 2000s fanny pack. He's got one. He's bringing it back. Gnaws off the end, gets the gunpowder. He's lifts up his jacket, puts the gunpowder up against in those wounds, and hits the lighter to stop the bleeding the best he can.
I need an act under pressure.
Act under pressure.
It's gonna be plus cool. What's your cool?
1. I'm a
That's
cool
good.
cat, depending on how this goes.
Oh, very nice. 11 plus. You're going to do what you set out to do. So you cauterize these 2 holes on either side of Adriel's back. And Adriel, it burns, but you can tell this is better. I'm going to have that remove the unstable. condition, so you are no longer unstable. Adriel.
Stabilize your wounds.
Huh? But you still have. It doesn't heal any harm, but it does literally stop the bleeding.
If I rolled a 12, would it heal him in any way, and would that up it?
No, because it's just a 10 plus. So whether there's no difference between a 10, 11, or a 12
Okay.
with the actor to pressure. Elias, you enter the room, and you get a sense of communal, a sense of this thing wants to connect with you, not talk to you, but wants to connect with you.
Of course it does.
And I'm sorry?
Of course it does.
And in the far back right corner, there's this huge, and I mean easily 12 foot in diameter, bulbous moss brain with vines that are like spider webs that are connecting it and holding it up into a corner. And it's pulsating, and it's brighter there than anything that you've seen so far. And you just instinctively know that this is what you have been connected with. I'm not going to answer this question.
So
What do you think, Elias? What does your friend think about this feeling of wanting to commune?
I think it thinks it's the reason it wants to commune so badly with me. That this entity wants to try to tap the power. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what it has seen over the eons.
Do you feel it?
I do.
It can be ours.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I think maybe I misunderstood your question. I was saying that the entity, my friend thinks the entity wants to control it.
Oh, okay. I'm not. I think it's still.
You think
I think it
it's the
still
other way?
says that to you. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't feel. Your passenger doesn't feel threatened. In fact, it's immediately in predator mode.
Okay, well, that feeds in with the something rash that I was thinking about doing anyway. Does Elias feel threatened though? Like, does he feel like a pawn in this game at some point? Like,
I'll let you decide
expendable?
that. Yeah, you
think-
can tell me
I think
that
maybe-
answer.
I think he may. Just that human instinct of like, when people become one with this thing, they don't exist anymore. They're nothing but bones and lab coats and watches. So, yeah, I think he is going to do something very rash. He does have poor impulse control as one of his sides. So he's going to tap into magic, and he wants to summon a monster into the world.
Very, very interesting. All right, so hold off on that. I don't want you to roll on that yet, Elias. Declan, you come in to this room. You see everything that I've described, that Elias could see. You can tell that this central moss brain in the corner is the source, right? It is the central thing. One of the one moss child that was next to the doctor is, and they almost glide the way they move, starts gliding towards you, Declan. And you can see that whatever Adriel bound this doctor with, these chains seem to be fading.
Shit. And it's headed, he said the moss child is headed towards me.
Towards you.
I think I'm gonna kick the mouse and attempt to douse it with some of the gasoline. And
So if you want
I'm gonna flick the lighter as I am like
Got it.
flipping some of it out.
Yep. All right. So we can do that as kick some ass then. Let's do that. Ooh, so on a 9, you are going to exchange harm. So that is going to be 2 harm from the child to you. And how much harm do you inflict?
I don't know how much this would be. I don't have it. What the damage this would be listed.
I didn't list it on the fighting sticks. It doesn't list it.
I'm not using the fighting sticks. I'm using the.
That's
the
right. That's right. I'm
fire.
sorry.
I'm setting it on
Yeah.
fire. So
Oh,
Yeah, you take it out. So you throw the gasoline on it, and at the same time, using your fighting stick as a flint, you just and it becomes like it follows you throwing the gas, and it starts burning. And
I'll be so taken aback by that explosion happening at the stick that I'll kind of like fall back and like follow my ass a little bit. But let's see, because I took 2. You said right?
yeah, you take 2, and it's imagine a simultaneous fight here, right? The vines came and they hit you. You doused it at the same time, and you just have a sense in your mind, Declan. You just suddenly know something. You know you're a fool as you fall down after this exchange. Van and Adriel, before I jump to Elias's drastic measures, what are the 2 of you doing as we've now cauterized this wound? You can hear the commotion happening from the other room. In fact, Van, you can look and see that Declan has just lit this moss child on fire and has kind of fallen aback. Elias, I almost feel like maybe you're floating like a couple centimeters just above the moss as you're coming in to do what you're doing.
Certainly possible. Yeah.
Van and Adriel?
I'd like to use magic and see if I can heal myself.
Sure.
Is there a way I can help support? Because I was going to try to, while I was cauterizing, also do a use magic at the same time. And
You don't have access to use magic. Remember, you took no limits instead.
No limit. Oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. Rewind.
But it would be, if you had a certain basic first aid, that would fall within the parameters of act under pressure. Adriel, why isn't it working? Mark your experience, but why doesn't it work?
I think maybe because of the type of damage that it is from this genetically modified creature, that it's just tougher than healing a normal wound.
Yeah, you have a feeling as you try to heal yourself that something was left behind inside you.
Nice.
All right, Elias.
So he speaks back to his friend and says, "Then you should take it." And he tries to open this portal to allow a being, some sort of primordial beast through
Yes. Yes.
to take it on.
Open it. Let me out.
Well, I don't know if it's him or just like an agent of his, but yes.
I think letting him out could be apocalyptic.
Yeah. I don't think I have that level of power.
Oh, I think you could. I don't think you'd want to though. But unless it'd be a lot less episodes than I was anticipating.
All right, here we go. Next.
All right. So the effect is to summon a monster into the world. So that does happen, but what's the glitch?
I'm gonna put it on you and say it has a problematic side effect. I'm gonna give that to you. You're welcome.
And does Azrael see him do this, or am I far enough concerned?
Oh no, I think it's a lot more interesting if you see this happen. So
Yeah.
Elias, what does everybody see happen here?
I think if I was levitating a couple of centimeters, I think it goes to a couple of inches, like more than half a foot. And there's this to mirror what we came up what we were saying before. It's almost like this anti-light energy around me, almost this shadow, but almost like a flame of shadows, not like murky like a shadow. And I think maybe his hair starts to lift a little bit, and his arms go a little wide, and his hands open, and in front of him, this dark portal opens, and this creature, unlike anything we've seen, that in lore or anywhere else, like arms that end in claws and legs, and more than there should be, and this mouth and teeth and everything just kind of climbs out and heads towards the mossy brain.
Have you done this before in front of us? This ability?
Probably not to this extent. No, nothing like
But
this.
you've summoned monsters before, though, or summoned something.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I we're still in that, like, you guys have adventured a lot longer than I have with me. So this may
I
be
like the
first
idea that
time
you've
we've
not
done it.
seen this before,
Yeah.
if that's okay. So it doesn't mean you haven't done it before, Elias, but I think this is the first time Adriel
Right.
see
Exactly.
this. And Adriel, you immediately understand that your equivalent of the gates of hell have been allowed a small opening, and something has come out that does not belong here. And Elias, this thing just extends its claws and hands into the moss under it. And we see just the light pulling out of it. It's absorbing this moss, and its darkness is going through it. It spreads to this brain, and the light is dimming, and you immediately can tell that this thing, it's working, and it is killing this moss. You can feel this knowledge of the moss telling you to stop this. You just know that, and this huge 12-foot wide, the pulsating brain is now turning darkness and turning and being squeezed in and being made smaller by this beast. Declan, what you also see is you see the glitch, which is you see Cornwall's skin just slough off of his face, and this darkness under him, as this darkness is now not only encompassing and taking care of this moss and this brain, but it seems to be taking Cornwall at the same time. And it's killed him.
He's already dead.
He's dead. It's almost instantaneous. Just the skin just sloughs off him.
At this point, almost reflexively, after the moss kind of gets in my brain and does what it does to the feeling, I'm going to try for illuminated.
Oh, tell me.
So going to try to, like I said, it's almost like a reflex, reaching out to a sect saying, okay, so a plant just called me stupid, and the guy that made it is very dead. Please advise.
All right. So let's give a little bit of background to everybody. So
Yes.
you are a member of a secret sect, and you are connected with this. And what you're using with Illuminated is this allows you to connect and talk to one of the senior members of the council that controls this sect. So let's go ahead and do that.
All right.
What's that roll with? Weird?
It's weird. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So on a mixed success, what that looks like, I'll go ahead and read that
It's a
out.
9.
Is
Yeah.
The secret masters need me to complete some kind of task for them. Once it is done, they reveal a key fact, clue, or technique that will help us.
Immediately, you're in a bright white room with 4 walls, a floor, and a ceiling. And the light is almost blinding. And there's a woman standing in front of you in white robes. And you just instinctively know, like, you haven't connected to a member of the council. You've connected to Sella, the Ember Matron, the one that is master over the entire order. And she says, "What is it, Initiate?"
Ember Matron, we hate that we're meeting like this, but I am on an investigation, and there is a scientist made this moss, this plant life that is spreading and possessing and killing people. And the rest of me is currently in a situation where I have managed to hold some of it off, but when I did, it connected with a part of my brain or my soul or something and called me foolish for doing so. And I think that I might be barking up the wrong tree as far as how I'm approaching it. And I don't know what to do next, so I wanted to seek the council for advice.
Let me be clear, Initiate. That entity is vanquished. There is no moss.
That's good, right?
There's a much bigger threat now in the room with you. Something has allowed a darkness to enter your realm. And it must be vanquished immediately.
Elias. I'll almost say it under my breath, like, fuck, like in a panic.
And suddenly you're holding your fighting sticks. You weren't, and then you are in this white room, and they are glowing, just a pure light. And she says, "Strike it down." And you're right back in the bunker. And
As I'm back in the bunker, am I back with the sticks in my hands?
you are. And these fighting sticks now are just glowing a pure light. And the manifestation of what Elias has summoned is now killed this moss brain, but it is now rising and forming this pure darkness. And it looks like it's about to go for Elias.
Oh, hell. So as soon as I come back in, I will come at it, but since the light is being drained from the room, as I come at it, I'm going to turn the one stick towards him and blast the mag light into what I assume to be its face, and try once again to kick some ass.
Okay, definitely. And it is not, when you go to look for the like the switch that you normally would to turn the lights on in your fighting sticks, that switch isn't here, but you just think light, and it a blinding white light just burns out of your fighting stick right towards this dark entity that Elias has summoned. So let's kick some ass. Oh, and real quick, Elias, I will allow you to help here, but I don't know if Elias would.
That's a good question. Do I feel like it's attacking me next?
Yes, you realize that this thing did what you wanted it to do, but now it's not under your control. It's not even under your passenger's control. We now have a dark entity.
It's its own thing, set free.
It is.
And kind of to set the scene, as Declan has talked to Stella, he kind of under his breath to her goes, "Elias, Elias," and then he comes back into the world of the sticks and he shouts, "Elias!" and he comes towards
Nice.
the entity.
I think that might be enough to like shake him free of like, and realize like kind of what he's done. Like what?
So you're going to help him kick some ass. What are you doing?
Can I help by trying to use magic on it to trap it?
Sure. And so we'll do that with a help roll. But
Yeah.
you're using your magic to do this. So actually, instead of using plus cool, why don't you use plus weird here?
Okay.
So you can just roll straight weird.
Yeah, I gotta find that part of my sheet.
Should be up at the very top, I think.
Yeah, I should make my sheet bigger so I don't have to scroll so much. All right. That's a 12.
All right. That's a straight up +1. So let's do some kick some ass. Declan, you've got a +1. Very nice. So you're going to exchange harm with the help of the Ember Matron. You will vanquish this thing. But you know it's not you that's doing it. It's the order and her through your hands, through your weapons that vanquishes this entity.
So
and I
the
will
task
need
was
you
I
to
needed
you're
this thing gone.
Go ahead.
So the task was I needed this thing gone, and the help is that I was the conduit and they took care of it, basically.
exactly 100% correct. But you're going to take 3 harm in the process. How does this thing harm you back?
So I think that as I blast light in his face, I will, even though they're not stabbing weapons, I will kind of just jab both of them into them. And as I do that, it'll kind of grab on, like palm me like a basketball. And as it's about to do something else, it blows up from the light, infecting it. But I will kind of be blown back and like knocked against the wall, and I'll just be like face down. Because at this point I'm at 5, so I'm past unstable and like.
Yeah, and I think the split second before everything you described happens, I think you somehow see a visage of Elias on this thing's back, and you see Elias's small hand grab the wrist of this thing and lift it off of your head before it takes everything from you. And it wasn't Elias, it was just like a vision of Elias reaching and grabbing him and saving you from literally being taken by this thing.
And
The
like
moss dies.
There's like this blinding light, and then for Declan, pretty much after the blinding light, everything goes black.
And that's when we see Adriel and Van enter. Adriel, you know that whatever this was that entered is now gone. And you know there is a power now behind Declan that maybe you weren't fully aware of. A power that you just sense is much greater than anything that you have felt from Declan up at this point.
Elias turns immediately to Adriel and says, Adriel, he needs your help. Lay hands on him.
Adriel's sword intensifies in the glowing flame.
Do you hate me more than you love him?
And then it goes out, and he puts it into his jacket. That's 1. And then he goes to Declan.
So I don't need any rolls here.
Oh man, I was going to give him +1 forward.
You're able to stabilize Declan. All of you as a montage, unless you guys want to interrupt me, you're welcome to. As a montage, we see the 4 of you leave the bunker. Declan needing some help. Maybe Van, you're helping him walk. Adriel, you're standing. You can walk on your own, but you have been better. You go back to the RV. You're taken care of. There's some healing happening. Everybody's going to be back to stable and 0 harm. But I want to cut to one thing real quick. At some point, Adriel, early the next morning, you instinctively know to go to this diner. And if it's all right with you, I think you sneak out of the RV, leaving your 3 fellow hunters. And I want to cut to, it's like 6 a.m., this small diner. And a woman that smells like an ashtray comes up, gives you some coffee, puts the coffee cup down. She starts to pour it. And she starts going, honey, what can I? And everything freezes. The coffee pouring out of the pot stops pouring. Pancakes being flipped in the open kitchen is midair flipped. And the large, heavy man with tattoos all up his neck that was cooking on the open grill turns and looks at you. And he begins to speak while everything around you is frozen, but you and this man. And as he starts to speak, you see cracks forming in his skin with light coming out of it. And he looks directly at you, Adriel, and he says, Adriel, flame forged, cast down among clay. You know me, though your flesh has forgotten. I am Elias, seraph of the 7th dawn, keeper of the line that must not break. You were not the only one sent. Another came before you. He was bright and with purpose. He has now fallen. And he has turned the fire inward. And with it, he is erasing the veil of everything holy. And it's becoming a hunger. His power rises, Adriel. Already the earth shudders in his steps. Do you understand?
Yes.
He has already lit the first lanterns of sorrow. Children have been taken. Parents' grief burns in the fields of Hendersonville, Iowa. You must follow that grief, Adriel. You must stop it. The labyrinth is growing, and with it, the fallen one gives rise to a devourer in that town. If you do not stop it, it will devour the world. And the chef turns its back to you and catches the pancake. And she goes, honey, what do you want? The waitress says.
Coffee's enough.
Okay, baby, you let me know if you need something else.
And then I'll take out a $5 bill and place it on the table and head back.
Let's go to credits.
Injured one of our team.
So, Derek,
all worked out.
Derek asked for a. We're back. Derek asked for a bit of a retcon, which I love. So, Derek, can you tell us what happened back at the bunker?
Yeah, just you know, I know you didn't have him make the roll to heal Declan, but on that roll that didn't happen. I wanted to use my Jinx hold to help him with the roll, knowing that he would know that I was helping, just as some sort of like an olive branch to say, like, we are on the same team. Like, I mean, I don't like my methods, but we're on the same team.
How do we think Adriel took that when that happened?
I basically what I just said. Adriel would have just looked at him and said, "That's why it's 1."
Okay.
You were reckless and you put others and Declan here took great damage from your actions. Sometimes the ends don't justify the means, but in this case, it worked out.
So I'm imagining that we're going to see the Remingtons head to Hendersonville, Iowa.
Sure. The next case.
As that's your next case. Something dealing with missing children and something called the Devourer. How much, I mean, Adriel, I know that you would reveal, like, we're going to Iowa, right? How much do you reveal about that, though? Like, how do you explain to the team, or do you tell them everything?
Yeah, I'm very straightforward.
Yeah.
Well, with Van, so basically, I'm straightforward with Van. I tell Van, and Van actually gets the full picture, and then we'll have a discussion of how much do we need or not need to tell everybody else.
So you tell Van that you now know your purpose and why you were brought back?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. We're going to be back in 2 weeks, but we do need to do some thoughts, stars, and wishes in the meantime when we go to the. I'm sorry?
For some reason, I thought it was 3 weeks.
I'll have to look. Maybe it's 2 or 3 weeks. I'll double check it. So let's start with you, DJ. Thoughts, stars, and wishes about today.
I thought it was a lot of fun seeing the interpersonal family dynamics play out much more extensively in this episode. I feel like between the kind of the cattiness of Adriel and Elias, and that kind of playing out ultimately in the episode and the conversation with Van and Sammy's father, I thought that was really, really cool to see. Stars, I felt like the end conflict played out really, really well, and a lot of really cool things happened, and it was very visual in a way that I really appreciated, and also moved at a really good pace.
Good.
As far as wishes go, I think only one is I am interested to, and I kind of get to take the wheel on this, just interested more to see how this subplot with the Emberfold plays out. And so I'll delve into that a little bit more as we move forward.
Yeah, I've definitely opened up the stories for both Van and Adriel. We still need some story opening for you, Declan, and for you and for Elias as well, and that'll happen. So you guys can look forward to that. Very quickly though, before you continue, I did forget end of session questions. So let's talk through those to see how much experience we have. The first question is: did we conclude a current mystery? The 100% yes. Did we save someone from certain death or worse? I think no. I think that we lost the doctor and we lost his assistant.
Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Depends how much we know about
We learned about brain consciousness experiments of Elias.
Is that all we learned?
And health.
We learned that Elias can open portals to hell.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think any of us have seen that in the past. So
his
something's
power
going on,
ranking is kind of up a little bit in everybody's eyes.
And Declan's order has apparently done something more than teach him how to fight.
Yeah, I think maybe Elias was the only one to have like a ringside seat for that. But he definitely learned that his hope that Declan can help him control his powers may not be misplaced.
Very nice. Very nice. So that's definitely a yes. And then did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? And I think the answer is yes there. So we got 3 yeses, which is worth an XP for everybody. So everybody mark an additional XP because you get 1 XP for getting 2 of them, and you got 3. So real quick, before we finish with thoughts, stars, and wishes, DJ, how much experience do you now have, and how close are you to advancing?
I believe it or not, been really lucky with my rolls thus far. I'm actually only at 2.
Okay, good for you.
I missed a roll last session, and I just got the one from because we didn't get any post credits experience last time, correct?
I thought we did we? Or we didn't? We fell
No,
short.
we
Okay,
didn't.
yeah.
Just
All right,
so
so you're sitting at 2.
Mystery.
All right, beautiful. So, all right, so talk to me, thoughts, stars, and wishes. You already talked a little bit what you really
Couple
liked.
things.
Yeah.
Couple things. One, what about our the Remingtons? Did we?
Oh,
mark
we got to
our-
do that too. Yes. So, from the team playbook, did we talk about or pointedly not talk about something that was troubling a team member?
Yeah.
I think we may have got that one barely.
All right, let's
Well-
mark it. I'm okay with it.
Well, I mean, from a meta perspective, Van had that phone call that he claimed to us as a team was a wrong number after I clearly asked him, like, you all right?
Yeah. Let's mark it. I like it.
Like, pointedly did
Well,
not
and-
talk about that phone call.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, Adriel and Elias definitely talked about their issues
100%.
in the open in front of
Yeah.
a civilian.
Yep, I completely agree. All right, now I mean it, DJ. Oh, go ahead.
Story beats.
Story beats we'll do off screen.
Okay.
And just so you guys know, I am not arbitrating those story beats. So you mark them, and I trust you to mark the ones that you feel matter. And then when you advance your story, you let me know. So we can do that off screen. All right. So now, no kidding, DJ. Tell me. So stars
Wait.
sounded like the interactions were really stood out for you.
Enjoy the interactions. The star that really stood out for me was like the end conflict or the ending combat with like seeing the mother brain and seeing the doctor. And to be clear, the doctor was alive when we came in and was killed by the entity that Elias summoned, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So I think that
was the glitch.
yeah, I think how that played out was excellent. And again, my wish is just like as we move forward, just digging more into this backstory with the Emberfold and what that's going to look like.
Beautiful.
I'm curious to see what happens next there.
Nicholas,
Craigulus.
quick XP check. Have you made an advance?
I did, yes.
Ooh, do you know which advance you're going to take?
Virtual high five.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do fervor so I can manipulate someone not using charm because I suck at charm, but actually use tough. So it's going to be intimidation, right? And that makes
Ooh.
sense because I'm a 2 on the toughness scale. So
Very nice. Very, very nice. So you're picking up a new playbook move.
yeah.
Very cool. Make sure you mark it on your sheet. All right. Thoughts, stars, and wishes, Nick.
Thoughts. I'm loving this game. The flow. I'm loving the world. I love how quick we can get in and out of a story, but still build all of our stories, which is amazing. And I've never been 2 sessions in without dying and concluding a situation, right? And this is awesome. And we're moving on to the next. So I love it. Stars is very difficult because I absolutely love that conflict between the 2 characters that Robert and Derek were playing. But DJ killed it when he went to his other plane, and I loved watching him just role play in that moment and bring us all into something that we really didn't understand. If you looked at all the other players, all of our mouths were open, just paying attention, sucked in, going, "What's going on? This is amazing." And so I thought that was really awesome. So well done.
And what are you wishing for? What do you want more of, or what have you not gotten that you want to see?
Really, it's I don't really have a wish. I'm loving where we're at. I wish that we continue this pace because I'm enjoying this pace. With 20% of bigger picture versus 80% of the now, and getting the story done and learning some new things along the way. So my wishes don't change.
Yeah, I'm imagining that we are going to probably finish most mysteries in one, likely 2 sessions. That's kind of how the game is built, which I also like because we get a chance to really see so much happen, right? And we cover so much thing because, again, to be a broken record, this game isn't about the monster hunting. It's the monster hunting is the setting for us to learn about these 4 hunters. But we still get the excitement of killing a moss brain, which is
Absolutely.
cool too.
No, for sure. And what's also what I've noticed being on so many of your streams is this system is very well tailored to the 2 to 3 hour session versus the single 6 hour session where you can kind of churn through something. This is I'm really liking that. It's really advancing without having to. Well, this is just a one shot that's just over 6 episodes. This is a lot of content, real tight. So it's great.
Yeah, I think
it's great.
It is. I do love that as well. I'm with you. Robert, thoughts, stars, and wish. Well, first of all, advancement. I know for a fact that you've advanced. Plus, you got. So, what is your current XP now? After you cleared out that 5, you picked up some after, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So after getting the bonus experience points from the questions, that puts me at 3 experience points.
Very nice. What advancement are we choosing?
Angel Wings.
Very nice. So a new playbook move, Angel Wings. You want to read it for everybody real quick?
Yeah, I also threw it into chat. But basically, I can go instantly anywhere that I visited before or to a person I know well. I can carry 1 or 2 people with you. If I do so, I roll plus weird on a 10 plus. You all go where you wanted. On a 7 through 9, you don't quite manage it. Either you are all separated or you all appear in the wrong place.
That's really cool. Celestial teleportation. That's pretty badass. Very, very nice. All right. Thoughts, stars, and wishes, Robert.
I'm going to give my star to Derek. It was nice to have somebody come back at me and do that little toe-to-toe rapport. Because I love when people play their characters. Not saying that everybody hasn't, but that was just something that was directly associated with myself. So that was pretty awesome. So I appreciate that. And so for everybody watching, yeah, we're not angry at each other. We understand there's characters and there's real life. So we lean into our characters. So there's no shade going on.
It's called role playing.
I've been in a couple streams where people have asked, "Are you guys okay?" It's like, yeah, we're fine. So, but yeah, as far as wishes, I'm pretty much down there with Nick. I don't have any things are going how I want. It's great. Just keeping the pacing and stuff like that. So I guess my wish is to make sure that everybody, stays with this till the end. That would be my wish.
Last but not least, Derek, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Thoughts. I'm really enjoying it. I think everybody's really pitching in. It's hard to say. Like everybody's adding to this experience, so which is great. Much appreciated. Stars. I think there are several things I really liked. But I think I'm gonna go with the scene with Declan as well, and how quickly and readily he just leaned right into this thing you kind of threw at. I don't know if he knew that you might be doing something like this at all. But
we had a little bit of a discussion, Derek, but you have to give DJ credit here because
it felt like it was just out of the blue and he just went running right with it, which was awesome.
Yep.
I really appreciate that. So DJ, props for that. And wishes is kind of tied in with that because I'm interested to see where his story goes too. I want to see this development for his character and what happens with the order and all of that stuff. So
the story
also,
that
just keep playing.
Yeah, the story that DJ chose is really interesting because it's a story, and I'm not going to reveal anything, but the story that DJ chose, which hasn't really been opened yet, has an assumption that you 4 are not mobile, right? So it's really going to be interesting, and I've been spending a lot of time of figuring out exactly how I want it to work, and I'm getting close, DJ. So you can expect that to open pretty soon. but it's really badass, the one he chose. So I'm excited for that as well. I have us coming back on the 20th. Does that sound right to everybody?
No.
All right, hold on. So the 20th is a no go.
Yeah, that's when I'll be gone.
Okay, got it. All right, I just didn't take it off my calendar.
Yeah.
So we'll be back on the 27th. Yep. We'll be back on the 27th, and we're headed to Ohio or Iowa. Just kidding. All right.
Or wherever.
Thanks.
It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
thanks so
Wherever
much.
the monsters are.
Hi, Flores.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.